play this first match.
Alright, well, first of all, let's go with the obvious one. Guichabou on that level 100 Lin Fei, 1.7 million XP. And then Lampy with a level 21. I mean, if it was by levels, Guichabou would have already won 2 sets ago. But, I mean, Lampy has a lot of momentum to get back after barely winning Game 5 of their last set. Guichabou with a nice grounded ground pound there to do a little bit of damage to Lampy. But, I mean, look at this damage. Earlier you were talking about how the speed of a match is has a great influence on who would win. A beautiful end sig there from Guichabou. But, yeah, Guichabou just does so well with these with the cannon and guitars. I mean, what else do you have to say about the character picks?
I mean, they're very unorthodox character picks. Like, you don't see much Lin Fei, especially in this like state of meta. Previously, Lin Fei was all over the place with the state guitars were in, with how decks affected them. But with recent patches and the effect they've had, you've seen less and less Lin Fei, but that has not stopped Guichabou. And Munin is like a very similar situation. Not quite as much affected by patches, but just her weapons are very, like, if you're playing Scythe, you very often need like a consistent KO confirmed weapon to combo off of that, because Scythe is so good at that damage build and those reads and those strings that we're seeing Lampy look for right here, as Guichabou finds that recovery as well. So they can almost two stocks up over Lampy in terms of raw damage, but you often want that consistent knockout option, which means you see a lot of Mordex, because that gives you, delay into recovery for true combo for a knockout. You might see some Giro, winning you very rarely see. And regardless, Lampy playing it into a lot of opponents today, and so far in this game, not quite as successfully as I think you would have hoped if you're a Lampy fan.
Yeah, it looks like he just said, "Oh, Lin Fei, forgot that was a character. Did not practice against that one." But Guichabou with these D-lights and D-lights and D-lights. Man, like, if I was Lampy, I'd be upset. But if Lampy was Lampy, he'd said go next. So up in that Dusk, okay. I love me some Dusk gameplay. I love it. Dusk is so fun.
Wait, hold up.
What? You don't like Dusk?
I love the Dusk. It's just like Lampy has such this is a diverse character pool. I mean, there are no carryovers from, like, we've seen him play Munin, we've seen him play the Caspian. Like, all 4 of the weapons on both Munin and Caspian don't carry over to Dusk. And so far, we might be seeing how that could be an issue for Lampy, as Guichabou just running away with this first stock, finds the down air as well, looking for this edge guard still, finds the ground pound, and a complete 0 to death out of Guichabou. I'm expecting him to opt for these guitars, but actually forced onto the cannon by Lampy interrupting the weapon staff. Guichabou looking for the guitars, throws up the cannon, but Lampy there to interrupt. The spear in hand for Lampy, and usually that's a very good matchup against guitars because of how much priority and range you have. But with the way Guichabou plays, it don't matter.
Does not care.
I mean, that should be clear with the fact that he's playing Lin Fei, a character that a lot of players see as like sort of mid to low tier with the current patch, and Guichabou still making her work to an incredible degree, almost being 2 whole stocks up over Lampy, and there it is, the side air will come through. Lampy very much down in this second game, sorry.
I got something to tell you. So, I mean, with Guichabou playing this well with this Lin Fei, you would expect him to be like, the best Lin Fei there is, right? With the highest elo, right? Not only does Guichabou not have the highest level Lin Fei, his highest elo legend in ranked is not even Lin Fei. It's actually Sentinel.
What? I was expecting Zol. He played Zol earlier and it was incredible, but Sentinel? Dude,
Chat, you can fact check me on this. You can fact check me on. Go to Corolla and check it.
I want to clarify for chat back home. We are sitting here and we do have Mr. Tronics in the VC with us. He made the choice to unmute his mic and say, "There's no way it's Sentinel." In the middle of this set so far, he is that dumbfounded about the fact that it is Sentinel. And I agree. I mean, Sentinel, he's not a bad character. But Hammer, in the current state that it's in, it's not like the most frequently picked 1v1 pick. And Guichabou obviously not afraid to pick these off-meta options, but still, Sentinel over this character that we've seen him play so much of is crazy. And regardless, we are seeing now a Qatar's mirror match coming in.
Let me find out. So just so you know, Sentinel is 24-38 and Linfei is 22-32. So almost a 200 elo difference there for Guichabou on that Sentinel. I mean, if this is how good the Linfei looks, I would pay to see that Sentinel, man.
I mean, I dare a 2400 to make it deep in this type of bracket. Like you said, what was the specific elo that Guichabou has with Linfei in this current season?
Current season is 22-32.
22-32. That's lower than my own peak. I promise you, I would not be here on this stream with any character I play. So I think it's probably a demonstration of the fact that Guichabou is kind of experimenting a little bit. And regardless of that experimentation, he's still so far up in this game, holding a huge lead over Lampy 2-0 and still only in the early orange of this first stock, and that is so scary if you're Lampy, because against a character like Linfei, she can build damage so quick, as we're seeing already, as Lampy is already more damaged than Guichabou. I feel like Guichabou is just going for the style point options here, aiming for this 3-stock. Lampy just desperately trying to make sure that it isn't a 3-stock here. Guichabou probably looking for a knockout option soon enough, but not going to find it yet as Lampy whipping out these done. So late to the side there! And Guichabou with the 3-stock to end the 3-0 in favor of Guichabou. What a set!
You know how you can turn up like text